From the Ear to There Travel Studio, this is the Ear to There Disney Podcast.
What can I say except you're stuck home and you need a little Disney fix? Hey, it's okay, you're not alone, and that's why Phil's doing this.
Hello to everyone on this beautiful Wednesday, stuck at home. It's Wednesday, March 25th, 2020. My name is Phil. I am here to help pass the time, to give you a little bit of a Disney dose every day. Listen, I'm doing my best to do 5 days a week. Sometimes it'll be 4 days. It might even be 3 once in a while, but we're trying to do 5 each and every week. I hope you're having a great week so far. I hope you and your family are safe and healthy. Because really, that's all that matters, is that we're safe and healthy and we're helping each other out and taking care of each other and all this stuff. And if you're listening to this like a couple years from now and you're like, oh man, I remember that when everybody was locked in their houses for months at a time, drop me an email or a text or a message or something and let me know you're listening. In the future, I would love to know that you were listening to this episode a couple years from now. All right. Again, my name is Phil. I'm the owner and the founder of Ear to There Travel, which is a Disney specialized travel agency. I'm not going to do all the plugs every single show. That's crazy. You know what I do. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, all those things. This will be on iTunes. Is it still called iTunes? Apple Podcasts, I guess it is now. Anyway, before I get started with the Word of the Week show, I had a weird kind of feeling the other day. It was beautiful out. It was like 65, 70 degrees here in Pennsylvania. In March, that's kind of a rarity. And the weird thing about this whole COVID-19 coronavirus thing is, like, in all the apocalypse movies and like the end of the world, I know it's not the end of the world. I know we're going to recover from this, but you know what I mean? In all of those movies and books, the weather is normally bad, right? It's like a black sky or a red sky, or there's zombies running around. There's some kind of trouble outside. We don't have that. Like, as long as you're 6 feet away from people you don't spend every single day with, people you don't live with, you're pretty much, doing what you're supposed to be doing. I just find it weird to be out in shorts and a t-shirt walking the dog on a beautiful, beautiful sunny day, and this is still all going on. It's weird, right? Like, you expect zombies or or the red sky or something, or smoke or smog, but no, it's beautiful and it's breezy and it's 70 and it's weird. Anyway, let's get started with the word of the week, or the word of the day. I'm just going to say the word. This week's word is brought to you by the letter S. S for splash. All this, I have never done a Splash Mountain episode, so that's what this week, I keep saying this week, that's what this show is all about, is the Disney instant classic as soon as it opened, the amazingly awesome, one of my, I always say my favorite, but truly one of my top 3 favorite attractions anywhere ever, Splash Mountain. I want to give you a little bit of the history, a little bit of the background about the attraction. But before I do that, we have to jump into the DeLorean. We have to go back in time to 1974. In 1974 in Disneyland, an attraction opened that was called America Sings. This was for the country, for the USA's bicentennial celebration, and it was opened in Disneyland as a patriotic attraction with 114 audio animatronic animals, or shall we say critters. We'll come back to that. We'll circle back to that in a minute. Who had a show and played patriotic songs, and it was a fun, cute show. As a matter of fact, I think I have a clip to put in right about now.
Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony. Stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. Yankee Doodle. Yes, folks, that was America's first popular song. And that's what this show is all about. America's music.
Where'd the songs come from, Sam?
Why, they were the songs that people brought from their native countries.
They did? What kind of music was it?
Sometimes it was happy, sometimes it was sad. And sometimes it just spoke of love, like I dream of Jeannie with the light brown hair.
Ooh, very nice. But frankly, I prefer...
All around the cobbler's bench, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought 'twas all in fun.
Goes a weasel.
All right, so now you know what kind of America Sings was if you never got to experience it. So it opened in 1974, and it actually replaced the Carousel of Progress in Disneyland in Tomorrowland. How exactly critters and animals and America fit into Tomorrowland, I don't know. But listen, we always say that Tomorrowland has had a futuristic problem since it opened, so there you go. Anyway, by the late 1980s, the attendants, the people who were coming to see America Sings, well, it wasn't going so well, right? You see, Disneyland had a problem. No one was really going to see the America Sings show anymore. Also, there was a little land off to the side of New Orleans Square called Bear Country. And guess what? No one was really visiting Bear Country. They would go to Disneyland and not really walk all the way back to that end of the park. So Disneyland's Imagineers, and especially Tony Baxter, you've heard of him, I think. He's a Disney legend. I kind of want to do my Troy McClure voice. Hi, I'm Tony Baxter. You may remember me from such attractions as Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Star Tours, and the Finding Nemo Submarine Adventure. Tony Baxter doesn't sound like that at all, but it's funny. Whenever I can try to be Troy McClure, Phil Hartman, hilarious. Anyway, so Tony Baxter would drive every day from his home in Anaheim Hills to Glendale, where Walt Disney Imagineering was. Actually, it's still there. So the traffic is bad around there. It's actually bad all around LA. If you have never driven there, listen, just if you're going to drive around the Los Angeles area, Los Angeles, Anaheim, Glendale, Burbank, get yourself some podcasts downloaded, get yourself some books on, not books on tape anymore, audiobooks on your iPhone, because you are going to be waiting in a lot of traffic. So Tony was waiting in a lot of traffic and had these two problems, right? No one's going to see America Sings anymore, and no one is going to Bear Country anymore. And we have all of these animals, all of these critters in America Sings designed and created by Disney legend Mark Davis. I'm not going to do the Troy McClure voice again, but Mark Davis was responsible for Pirates of the Caribbean and Country Bear Jamboree and America Sings. He was one of Walt Disney's 9 old men. Listen, he is the ultimate Disney legend. So Tony Baxter thinks we have all of these audio animatronic figures created by this legendary Disney Imagineer. Let's get them out of America Sings. We'll put them into a log flume ride. We'll stick it in Bear Country. We'll theme it around Disney's 1946 film, The Song of the South. And boom, now it has a name, the Zippity River Run. So Tony Baxter really comes up with this whole idea on his commute to work, takes it into the other Imagineers and is like, listen, this is what we're going to do. And he pitches them the whole idea. And they're like, other theme parks like Knott's Berry Farm and local places, they have log flumes. We don't want to do a log flume. And how does Tony Baxter sell them on it? Well, he says, listen, this one is going to be way different because what does Disney do better than anyone else? Of course, story. We have a story. So they thought, we'll create Brer Rabbit and Brer Fox and Brer Bear animatronics. We'll tell the story of Song of the South in this attraction. And then all of the animals, the 114 other audio animatronic critters, could come in and complete the story. It was perfect. And guess what? What animator worked on the animals in the 1946 film, The Song of the South? Of course, it was Mark Davis. So not only did Mark Davis animate the film, he also created all the animatronics for America Sings. It's perfect. Everything went together in the way that Disney loves it. And there's a word that you learn and hear of a lot when you're a cast member, and it's synergy. This attraction, this thing was full loaded with synergy. Everything fit. Everything made sense. Everything was harmoniously put together. It was perfect. So the idea was pitched to Michael Eisner, who loved it, thought it was a fantastic idea, fantastic attraction. He looked at the model. He looked at the layout. He looked where it was going in bear country. He looked at the reuse, the reimagining of all of those animals, all those audio animatronic critters. It was perfect, but he had one problem with the attraction. It was the name, Zippity River Run. He didn't dig that. And Eisner saw an opportunity to create even more synergy. See, Touchstone Pictures had just released the film Splash. Of course, Disney owned Touchstone Pictures at the time. And Michael Eisner said, you know what, let's change the name. We already have a Space Mountain. We already have a Big Thunder Mountain. Let's change the name from Zippity River Run to Splash Mountain. Oh, you know what? We can throw a mermaid in the attraction too to kind of really tie it together. Well, Imagineers, I don't know, maybe reluctantly did decide to name it Splash Mountain. But the mermaid was not included in the attraction, of course. They argued that it would ruin the theming, would ruin the story. So the mermaid, Daryl Hannah, poor Daryl Hannah, Madison, was left out of the final attraction. Splash Mountain opened in 1989 in Critter Country, which was renamed from Bear Country because of all of the critters that would be in the area. And of course, it was a huge success for Disneyland. So huge that just 3 years later, the two new Splash Mountain attractions in Tokyo Disneyland and in Walt Disney World would open. Now, Disneyland's Splash Mountain is a single file setup, so riders ride one in front of the other in the logs. When they were designing the attraction for Tokyo Disneyland, it was discovered that the culture in Japan, Japanese culture, did not enjoy the idea of sitting single file one by one. So they widened the waterways of Splash Mountain, widened the logs to the 2x2 seating that we have in Tokyo Disneyland and also in Magic Kingdom as well. The big perk for Magic Kingdom was, hey, listen, we can almost double capacity if we do it this way. Of course, Magic Kingdom being busier than Disneyland Park at the time, it made a lot of sense. Splash Mountain in Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World opened on July 17th, 1992. Well, that was a soft opening with the official opening later in October of that year. Now, a few fun facts about Splash Mountain. The Magic Kingdom's version of Splash Mountain has 950,000 gallons of water. How did I say that? Water? I don't know. It's water. So listen, if you're going on that attraction and you expect to stay dry, forget about it. Maybe grab yourself a poncho or sit behind a bigger family member. That's what you really want to do. Put your dad, your mom, whoever's bigger than you up front. I'm talking to the kids here. Let them get in front of you. They'll get hit by the water more than you will. That's how you do it. The big drop at the top of Chickapin Hill is about 52 feet. And on the way down, you reach speeds of about 40 miles per hour, proving once again that yes, you will get wet. Now, my favorite little thing and hidden gem about Splash Mountain is, and I'm not a college football or FSU fan, but there is a gopher in the ceiling before you get to the big drop, before you get to Chickapin Hill, and he pops out of the ceiling and he says, "Go FSU." Because one of the Imagineers that worked on that part of the attraction was an FSU, Florida State University alum. Now, if you haven't heard it, here is a little soundbite of that gopher popping out of the ceiling. Pretty cool, right? And that is going to do it for this day's Walt Disney World Word. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode, just like I hope you enjoy each and every episode. And listen, if you did enjoy it, please do me a favor. Share this episode with someone. You're a Disney fan, you're listening. I'm sure you have other Disney fan friends that would enjoy the podcast. Just shoot them this link or the link to the show or something. Let them know that it's there and let them know that I'm doing as much as I can to bring out as many shows as possible while we're all stuck at home. All right, again, thank you so much for listening. You are awesome. I really, really appreciate you and the fact that you took the time to listen today. Until next time, have an amazing day. Stay safe, stay healthy. Enjoy this time if you can with your friends and with your family, with your kids. And if you are someone out there who is an essential worker, if you're a doctor, a nurse, a firefighter, a police officer, military, anyone I missed, a grocery store worker, a pharmacist, thank you so much for coming to work every day and helping us get through this super crazy and unprecedented time. All right, thanks again. Again, stay safe. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.
Ear to the